Call the meeting to order. Everyone please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Cedar Grove Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be advertised by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on bulletin boards in the district, published and/or transmitted to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and Star Ledger newspapers, filed with the township clerk, and posted on the district's website. May I have roll call, please?
Mrs. Burke?
Here.
Mrs. Dye?
Here.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Here.
Mr. Mandela?
Here.
And Mr. Siskala?
Here. The meeting is open to the public for comment for any items that are on the agenda. Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the meeting. Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
Hello, Mr. Siskala.
Mr. Tavernier. Welcome to the public. Do we have any committee reports this evening?
I know I said I wasn't gonna, because I went to a number of FSA meetings, but they were a little while ago. But in reviewing my notes, there's just one thing I wanted to point out that was, I thought, notable. I attended the high school APT meeting, so I'm not gonna report on the middle school. I'm sorry, Mr. DeCourt. Maybe I'll say something. And Mr. Gallagher, who's the new VP there, made a presentation, and one of the things he talked about was safety. And what I wanted to mention is that they actually had changed at the high school the student evacuation plan, which I thought was kind of impressive, in which it used to be that when there was an evacuation at the high school, everybody met out on the bleachers. And apparently it caused some kind of confusion and you couldn't find kids and things like that. Now what they did, and if you drive along where the high school is, you can see there's numbers on the driveway. That's what that is. See, this is why I'm reporting these things. I'm informing you. See? But wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me explain what it is. Stop. So anyway, now what they're doing is when students are evacuated, they're lining up by class and the driveway area by class, and the numbers are printed on the road. So you'll be able to find the students where they're supposed to be. And I thought that was an excellent idea. So I wanted to point that out. And now, see, curiosity, now you're good, right?
They were parking spots. I'm like, they're going to park on both sides.
No, they're not parking spots. No. So anyway, that's kind of just one of the things I wanted to mention. So.
Pretty good.
But the middle school, oh, now look, Mr. DeCourt's looking at me, so now I have to say something. Okay, wait a second. So the FSA meeting for the middle school was the same night, and I was able to attend both. And what could I say about that? That Mr. DeCourt did an excellent job with the meeting. And what else? Oh, here we go. Here's a good segue. He was talking about the Respect video that he was creating that involves the entire school and students that would be coming soon. And I believe tonight we're having a presentation of such video. Good? Absolutely. All right, now I'm done. That's enough.
Any other committee reports?
I just think that is record time for Mrs. Dye and her committee report, so I want that on record.
It's a long meeting, so.
Okay, moving on then, we have several board presentations tonight, and we're going to do the first two, then we'll take a little bit of a break in case anybody wants to leave, although everyone is welcome to stay, of course, and then we'll do the next two before we move on to the business of the evening. So first, I'm going to ask Mr. Mangilli to come forward. He will be presenting an academic achievement presentation to several students.
That is correct.
Take it away, Mr. Mangilli.
Good evening, Board, Mr. Superintendent,
Good evening.
Ms. Business Administrator. Nice to see you this evening as well. Each October, 1.5 million juniors take the PSATs. Out of that 1.5 million, 50,000 of them are recognized and commended for scores that are, let's say, above the norm. It happens to be that this year, 3 of our students ranked very highly on our PSATs this year, and they were commended. Out of the 50,000 students, we have 3 of them in Cedar Grove High School. I am proud to announce the following students. For exceptional academic promise on the 2013 SAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, I'd like to recognize Mr. Jonathan Hegarty, Mr. Richard Kang, and of course, Miss Mia Walton. I have not asked our former superintendent if this has ever taken place before, but I do know that last year, as my first year at the high school, we did not have any of these. And I was very proud of the 3. We had their pictures in the paper. We had a nice little write-up on them. And if this is the first time this has happened in Cedar Grove, this just tells you that we have good things to come. So congratulations to all 3 of you. Great job.
And Jonathan, Richard, and Mia, on behalf of the Board of Education, we congratulate you. Unbelievable job to have 3 of our students in little old Cedar Grove, as part of 50,000 people who are being recognized. So, again, unbelievable. Great job, and keep up the good work. Okay, Mr. DeCourt, you're up. Mr. DeCourt is here to present the aforementioned Week of Respect video, which we all are very excited to see. And he's joined, I see, by Mrs. Hill and Ms. Slota. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking our Board of Education members, our Superintendent, Mr. Featherman, and our Business Administrator, Ms. Tavernier. Thank you for having us. We're extremely excited to present our video tonight. Just a brief background. Each year, we have to pay mention and awareness to a few different weeks that happen across education. School Violence Awareness Week, Red Ribbon Week, and Respect Week. So I said to Ms. Slota this year, let's do something different. Let's come up with something that's really going to knock people's socks off and make awareness for respect. So Ms. Slota came in my office and said, let's do a video. I said, awesome. Let's put it together. Well, she put it together with Ms. Hill. And I'm really, really proud of them, and I'm proud of the students. And the number one thing that I also want you to take when you see this video is, to put this together, it took only 30 minutes to take students out of instructional time to engage the entire building, and it was amazing. So I would like to have Ms. Slota and Ms. Hill just give a little background on what went into the video, and then without further ado, we'll present the video. So, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Really quickly, Respect Week is something that we've always paid close attention to. It's something that's important to the students, to the staff, to everyone. And our goal this year was to really have the students and the teachers work collaboratively on a project that would be fun for both of them, for both parties. And it was awesome. The day after, the kids were talking about it, the teachers were talking about it. It was something that was discussed in all the classes. It was great. And Ms. Hill was awesome. She edited the whole video. The teachers danced. The kids were dancing. It was awesome. So we'd like to play it if you have anything else to say.
What was nice about this is the way everybody came together. You don't always get to see a whole school come together unified as one, but when you were in that gym, at the end, you'll see what I'm talking about. The presence in that room was amazing. The vibe, everything, it was unreal. So I hope you can get a sense of that in this video. You want to go get the lights while I say that?
And while Ms. Hill and Ms. Slota are taking care of that, please make mention and pay attention to the fact that what the students are wearing and the different colors that they're displaying to represent respect.
Give me your one. Hey, you two, go to my office.
Snore.
Way to show some respect, pal.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, do you know I got it? All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Hey, baby, when you get home, mister, I ain't gonna do you wrong while you're gone. I ain't gonna do you wrong, 'cause I don't wanna. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Baby, when you get home, yeah. I'm out to give you all my money. And all I'm asking in return, honey, is to give me my promise when you get home. Yeah, baby, when you get home, yeah. Ooh, your kisses sweeter than honey. And guess what? So is my money. All I want you to do for me is give it to me when you get home. Yeah, baby, whip it to me when you get home. Now, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take out T-C-B. Oh, little respect. Woo, hey, little respect. I get tired, keep on trying. You're running out of food, and I ain't lying. Stop when you come home, or you might walk in and find out alone.
Cedar Grove Panthers show respect.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, do you know I got it? All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Hey, baby, when you get home, mister, I ain't gonna do you wrong while you're gone. I ain't gonna do you wrong, 'cause I don't wanna. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Baby, when you get home, yeah. I'm out to give it.
So once again, thank you so much for allowing us to come and present it, and we're very proud of it. And if you noticed, all the students were wearing black and gold to represent respect for their town. Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you very. Great job, Mr. DeCourt, Mrs. Hill, Ms. Slota. Thank you very much. Are we going to post this on the website so everyone can see it?
We wanted to debut it here first. We didn't want anyone to see it until
Great. Well, thank you for that. I really,
That's
can't
great.
wait for everyone to be able to see it so we can, talk it up when maybe you can let us know when it goes up there so we can make sure people.
Go up tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Great. Thank you. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Again, everyone is welcome to stay. We have 2 more presentations, one regarding our referendum, which is very exciting, and one regarding our long-term CUSAC plan, before we move on to our agenda items for the evening. So feel free to stay, but if you do have to leave, I know there are students who have school tomorrow here, you're more than welcome to take this opportunity to exit. So we'll meet back here in 5 minutes, and we'll adjourn till 8:20 or so. Call the meeting back to order. Welcome back, everybody. We now go to the second part of our presentations, and the first presentation in our second leg here is from Mr. Donahue, our architect. He's going to give us our referendum overview. This is the overview of the upgrades that we are looking to pass in the December referendum. And I believe that Mr. Donahue is going to go through what's going to be done at every school, correct?
Yes, I go into it. I start high level and then I drill down and give it great detail. I want to thank the board, and I want to thank you for putting me up after that presentation. That's an impossible act to follow, especially with the information I'm about to tell you.
You're not going to sing and dance?
I can't. That would be torture. That would be torture for both me and you, mostly you. So I put together a quick presentation about the referendum and what it's going to involve. It's up to you, Mr. President, how you want to, if you want me to stop during the slides and take questions, I can do that, or I can do it at the end, however you like.
Well, let's do it at the end unless
Okay.
something pressing comes up from the board.
Okay, very well. That's what I'll do then. Okay, so this is the overall scope of the project. It involves 3 schools: North End, South End, and Cedar Grove High School. North End and South End, it involves heating pipes and bathrooms, and I'll get into greater detail, and I have a diagram of what that means later. Cedar Grove High School involves bathrooms, floor tile, auditorium upgrades, locker room upgrades, new athletic fields, bleachers, press box, and a new concession stand. This is a breakdown of the North End School. It includes renovating 12 bathrooms throughout the school and replacing heating piping. And what I mean by heating piping is there's a perimeter loop around the school, and I believe it shows it in the next slide. But there's a perimeter loop of heating pipe that goes around the school that feeds all the unit ventilators in all the classrooms. And that is original to the school. And in many cases, those pipes are rotted through. And in some cases, you've had pipes break, luckily over weekends when no one was in the classroom. But typically when they break is in your heating season, when you most need them. The estimated project cost for North End School is around $1.5 million. This is a diagram. The blue represents let me see if I can work this thing. The blue represents the bathrooms throughout. Some are single-use bathrooms in classrooms, and some are gang bathrooms like these here and these here. And then the red lines are a schematic of the heating loop that goes around the entire building, with the exception of this room, which was a newer addition to the school.
And are those heating pipes around the perimeter of the ceiling or around the perimeter like 4 feet up or so?
They're in the ceiling.
So they're above.
Yeah, right. South End School, very similar. We're renovating 13 bathrooms and replacing heating piping throughout, and the estimated project cost is around $1.4 million, close to $1.5 million. And again, the blue represents bathrooms throughout, and the red line is the perimeter heating pipe. Cedar Grove High School. We're going to renovate 18 bathrooms throughout the school. We're going to replace asbestos floor tile with vinyl tile. There's about 64,000 square feet of existing asbestos tile in the school that is original from 1960, and in many cases that floor tile is popping up off the floor because the adhesive is worn out. We're going to renovate the auditorium to include new seating, lighting, sound system, HVAC, floor and wall finishes. Locker room renovations to include new lockers, flooring, seating, ventilation, and wall finishes. If any of you have been in the locker rooms, you know they're in desperate need of this. Similar to the roofs in the last referendum, the floors in the locker rooms are more patch than floor. New baseball field with drainage, new turf multipurpose field, new running track, new bleachers and press box, new concession stand with bathrooms and storage, and expanded parking area in the rear of the school with handicap accessibility and emergency vehicle access specifically to the fields. Oh, sorry, the cost. I almost skipped that. It's around $11.8 million for that portion of the project. And this is a diagram of the upper level of the high school. You can see the green is the asbestos tile throughout. The yellow is the renovated bathrooms. The gray in this slide is the locker rooms. Again, the lower level, green is the asbestos floor tile. The yellow is the bathrooms throughout. And in this case, this purple is the auditorium. This is a proposed floor plan and renderings of the field house, which would include, bathrooms, women's and men's bathrooms, a storage room, mechanical room, and a kitchen for a concession area. And again, this is just a proposed rendering of what it would look like. We were trying to make it look like the new windows on the high school so it would all blend in. And again, these are elevations of the building. We tried to make the roof, the big portion of the roof, south-facing so that in the future, if you ever wanted to put solar panels on, you'd have a south-facing roof to put solar panels on. So this is the total project cost, north end, south end, Cedar Grove High School, for a total of $14,884,719. Any questions?
Board, any questions?
No, I just want to say thank you. The information, the breakdown, I think is very clear for the community to see. You know, as board members, we've been working on this for a long time now, and you know, we know the inside of this, but to actually see the breakdown, because many people obviously have been talking about it the last couple of weeks, and you know, it's important to get the right information out there of what's going to be done at each of the schools, and you know, instead of people speculating, is this going to be a part of it? So I just want to thank you for the breakdown and the clarity on each of the locations, because that I think is really important for the community to see, and this is going to be amazing. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've done always on all of our stuff. It's always thorough and very easy to follow, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. And Frank said it, so
I didn't do that.
on behalf of the board, I'll echo what Mr. Mandela said. Thank you for you know, everything that you've done, and you know, we hope that we continue to work together in the future.
Thank you. I do too.
This is great.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Robert. Okay, so we have one more presentation. This one's going to be Mr. Featherman, who has our long-term CUSAC plan.
Wait, Laura has a question.
Sure.
Ms. Donnie, can I ask a quick question? You were very thorough. Thank you for all of the renderings, and I wish we had color because they were beautiful. But for the field portions, did they just not make it here, or there's really nothing to draw? Or do you draw?
The fields in terms of their size and shape aren't going to be much different than what they are, so I didn't feel that it was going to add anything to the presentation other than they're going to be new turf fields.
Right.
But we are restricted to the size and location where your existing field is.
Right. Okay.
And just to clarify, it's a new turf field, correct? The multipurpose field will be turf. The baseball field will.
That's correct.
Also, to one other question, and I'm under the assumption, and I think the board is too, when we talk about the bleachers, will there be separate home and visitor bleachers? Because I would assume that there are separate visitor bleachers.
We did not design separate bleachers. We designed one set of bleachers because of the cost of making bleachers handicap accessible. You'd have to do that in two locations, would be extremely costly.
Can we use the existing bleachers as the visitor bleachers once it's all done?
we can look into it. You do have some problems with your existing bleachers?
No, the visitor ones.
Yeah, no, that's what
Oh,
I meant.
They're
yes,
still
yes.
fine.
Well,
They're
we're
still
certainly not
not
going to
as many.
discard anything that
Right.
could be used.
Right, we're all about
Absolutely.
repurposing.
Yeah. And if there's something we can do with your existing bleachers and retrofit them to work in that application, but that's tough.
That'd be really tough.
How about the type of bleacher, the new bleachers that we just put in at the middle school last year? Would we be able to use those type of bleachers?
I'm not sure what you put in at the middle school. I wasn't involved with that. I will tell you,
ADA accessible. I mean, they're just right on the ground.
At the middle school?
They're low. Yeah, they're low. They're seats. Right, yeah.
I will tell you, I recently saw bleachers in Parsippany that I've never seen before. They're actually on the back of a truck, and they collapse, and you can wheel them around wherever you want.
That's what I thought we had at the middle school.
Well, they are movable, but they're not grandstand, so to say. They're lower and only two-tier, and I would think.
The one I'm talking about is it's a higher bleacher, but it's on the back of a truck. You could take it to any one of your schools. So in terms of getting a lot of use out of it, that would be a really good possibility.
So does that have to be handicap accessible?
It's a bit of a gray area.
Because it's
I
portable?
mean, well, let me put it this way. If you had a visitor in a wheelchair, would you tell them they couldn't go in the home stands?
No.
Right.
Absolutely
So
not. So if you have the handicap accessibility
Right.
on the home stand,
Right.
you wouldn't necessarily need it for
Right.
the visitor side?
Right. But if we built two, we would probably have to take the route of making them both handicap accessible.
But if they're on the back
Unless
of
we
such
use the current ones
flatbed,
that are
right.
there.
Right,
I was just wondering.
a temporary
I was just wondering
bleacher. I
if we
think
were
if you're using a temporary bleacher, you're in a much better position to.
Right.
And plus, it's more practical. You could use it at the middle school. You could use it at the high
Wheel it
school.
around,
You
right.
could use it for baseball even if you wanted to.
Right.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Very exciting. It's a long time coming.
Okay, Mr. Featherman, Cusack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, you're going to sing and dance, though, with your presentation, right?
Not so sure about that. Good evening, everybody. Speaking of a tough act to follow, you're talking about a referendum we've been thinking about, dreaming about, imagining about for how long?
5 years.
Yes,
More than that.
Long
I
time.
got here.
Longer than that.
Longer than that, but.
longer than that.
It's been a long time.
Well, I don't want to take the wind out of our sails, and that's not the intent of this presentation. There is some news here that we've been exposed to.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I say it is what it is at this point. Bless you.
Bless you.
And we're excited about the challenges that this opportunity brings. And I know the administrative team and the staff district-wide feels the same way. So CUSAC came in last year. It's the quality single accountability continuum that the County of Essex uses to evaluate our programs. As I showed you last time, some of our scores are quite good, others not. But we're not going to dwell on that. It is what it is. So tonight's presentation, we'll talk about instruction and program. Because we scored less than 50% in that area, we were required to compose a long-term plan. Well, I've got news for you. The long-term plan is already well underway. So it was good timing. Let's first look at the failed indicators. Again, the CUSAC, their team came in, their team of ed specialists came in and visited all of our buildings, many of our classrooms, took copious notes, assimilated that into a report, and shared with us that we had not passed the following. Standard 12 under instruction and program. I won't read it to you. You see what it relates to. Core curriculum content standards and the Common Core. Standard 13. Not at all unlike Standard 12. The county we believed strongly that we fell short in this standard as well. Standard 14. What I'm about to get to, Standard 15, is the fact that we're doing a lot of these things, So when you're reading the fine detail of each of these standards, say, oh my God, we're not doing that. Which school isn't doing that? Or we're not doing that, really? We took issue with some of the language that they found us faulty, because we are doing it. And we're not being defensive here, but frankly, we are doing a lot of these things. But the common thread behind these failed indicators is our material alignment to the Common Core. You see, not only does instruction have to reflect the Common Core, but so too do the materials that you're using each and every day to orchestrate the delivery of the Common Core. And for a variety of reasons, failed budgets and mixed priorities, it is what it is. But the challenge that lies ahead is an opportunity. And as I said before, we're well underway with this plan, this long-term plan. We have an excellent administrative team that's been talking to parents, teachers, students about the Common Core, its alignment, and what I'll do tonight is briefly outline what we've already done and what we intend to continue to do. So here's an overview of the CUSAC process, just briefly. Because of our score, as I said before, we're required to submit this plan. And so we've done that. We've put to paper a lot of what we've been doing and what we will intend to do. So what does it look like, in motion? Well, we've convened the CUSAC committee, which is composed of administrators and teachers. As a group, we've identified priorities to compose the plan. We've convened an administrative subcommittee to sort of hash out the fine details that you'll see in the report. We are obtaining Board of Ed approval. And we will submit this report just as soon as the board has, again, talked it through and agrees that this is the right plan. And I assure you, I think they will. So the long-term plan, different from the district improvement plan that we presented last time around, asks us to identify 3 priority areas, the critical need areas, and they are as follows. Again, this was distilled from the committee meetings, the subcommittee meetings, and a real hard look at who we are and what we do. The first priority, no surprise, Common Core alignment as it relates to English language arts. What's the second? Can anyone guess? How it relates to mathematics. Really, that is the core of what we do, right? So the third priority is assessment. Clearly, once you have the right system in place, you must periodically assess how the students are performing against those standards. And we need to do a better job of doing that. We acknowledge that. It shall be done. So let's look at priority number 1. You'll see the slides have similar headings. The strategies, interventions, trainings, and budget resources, and the evidence of completion. Let me walk you through those 2 columns for each of the 3 priority areas. Let's talk a bit for a few minutes about ELA alignment. How will we accomplish that? What have we already done? What are we currently doing? And what will we continue to do in the future? You'll see some dates here, the spring of 14. Well, that was the spring of 14. We're doing some great things, and I want you to know that. It's already happening. We've adopted a new Good Habits, Great Readers literacy program, K through 5. It's a wonderful program. It's Common Core aligned. The teachers love it. The students love it. I'm in these buildings every week, and I see the difference already. We've also purchased Words Their Way, a complement to Good Habits, Great Readers, Common Core aligned. And over the summer, we purchased, it's 2003, that's correct. So these things have been going on for some time. We've purchased a Measures of Academic Progress licensing package, and so that we are assessing our students against an online Common Core aligned assessment program. So things have been in place for a little while now. And we've gathered information relative to how our kids are doing against the Common Core. And that has informed instruction, of course. That's the point. Evidence of completion. Well, as I've said to you, don't just take my word for it, although I suppose by and large you have to tonight. Thank you in advance. We're doing a lot of these things. The evidence is already there. We've got MAP scores. We've sent them home. Some of you have received them, I'm sure. And it tells you how your son and daughter is doing against normative measures relative to the Common Core. So we're in the game. Common Core academies. They've been going on for some time now. I attend these academies. I work alongside the teachers and administrators. It's great work. We acknowledge that it's great work. It's changing instructional practices. It's changing student outcomes. We're very excited about it. Our K-5 teachers participated in summer work, summer academy work, summer professional development, online chat sessions. The collaboration is well underway. How about some evidence? Well, we've got plenty of it, and we will produce it for the committee when they come in, when the county comes back. We have a collection of documents that reflects the good work that we're doing. I see Linda over here, and she's nodding. Yeah, the work is exciting. You know, it's fun to see us talking about good stuff. But wait, there's more. Talked about MAP testing. It's been in place for some time now. John, how's the MAP testing going for you? How's MAP treating you, all right? Last year? It's fine. It's fine. You talk to a senior in high school who says it's fine. It's fine. That's it. We don't go any further than that. Thanks, John. More evidence. Again, you've got a student in grades 3 through 11. You're getting your MAP scores. You see it. You're breathing the air. We're using the information that the MAP testing provides each teacher, each classroom, each individual student to inform what those students, what those kids are ready to learn. What does that lead to? Differentiated instruction. It allows teachers to identify where a particular student is at any given time and can tailor instruction to him or her based on what they are ready to learn. The essence of differentiation. There's more. During this school year, now let's talk about what's happening currently. I keep turning my back, I'm going to get a stiff neck here. We've made a decision to not reinvent the wheel. I think there are practical reasons why. I mean, time is of the essence, right? I mean, we need to get our house in order. Let's not kid ourselves, and we're prepared to do that. So the state has spent a few years putting together a, quote, model curriculum. So curriculum rewriting in ELA is going on this year, but we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to use the framework, the structure of that model curriculum to establish our own framework. And then we're going to tailor it to Cedar Grove. Well, where will we do that? It's not just going to happen. We're going to go through a painstaking process of collecting the evidence and recording the evidence in our Rubicon Atlas software system and create these living documents that reflect Cedar Grove's version of the model curriculum. It's a living document. It's not going to sit on a shelf. It's going to be an online, real-time organism, thing that will be changed as we go through each month. IXL, we've mentioned this before. This is an excellent online program. I'm sure John has fiddled around with IXL. Yes, John? I'm not sure, but maybe you've used IXL at the high school. Maybe, maybe not. It's a wonderful program. Check it out. We purchased licenses for it. Again, why IXL? Well, for a few reasons. Number one, it's Common Core aligned. Number two, we're preparing for the PARCC test coming up this spring. So what an excellent, nice way of getting our students used to taking these online types of assessments, right? Grades 3, 4, 5, 7, 11. Okay, getting used to that platform. And thirdly, it informs instruction. This is the background on IXL. We've had it for a little while here. We've purchased expanded licenses. It's now available in language arts and math. Funding. What have we done so far? Well, we've funded a great deal of priority number one. We've purchased Good Habits, Great Readers and Words Their Way. We've purchased study books for our teachers to have, each of them, not just per group or per classroom, each teacher to sort of embrace the daily 5 and the cafe approach. A book study. And we purchased licenses for MAP. So collectively, that's quite a bit of money. IXL is not free either. And the evidence is pretty easy to gather there. Any questions about our long-term plan as it relates to English language arts? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk a bit about math alignment. You'll see some commonalities here. Just the time frame is not quite what you just saw. There are capacity issues, folks. You don't just write English language arts curriculum and integrate it with a new literacy series and Words Their Way with professional development and do that at the same time with a new math series. It just doesn't work that way. So the focus clearly now is on language arts, but this year we'll be transitioning to mathematics with the help of MAP testing and IXL along the way. MAP testing, as you see here, has been used by our staff to write their student growth objectives. In fact, teachers in tested areas are required to use at least one, or rather to have at least one student growth objective based on MAP data. What are we doing this year? Well, like last year, we had the Common Core Academies in ELA. This year, we'll transition to those Common Core Academies in mathematics. Well, what are they doing? Well, just as it says there, we're unwrapping those standards. We're looking at how, at the grade level, they're unpacked and delivered in the classroom. And here's a whole lot of verbiage about the evidence. It's being done. It shall be done. We're excited about it. IXL, no stranger to math teachers. And again, more background on IXL. And we're expanding the grade ranges. And again, as I said, it's ELA and mathematics now for the same reasons. We're preparing for PARC, Common Core, informs instruction, for all those reasons. Moving forward, we need to purchase a new mathematics series, at least K-5 for now. We're pretty good 6 through 12. Over the last few years, we've purchased our Common Core materials, Common Core aligned materials at the middle school, high school. So our focus will be K-5. It costs a lot of money to do that. But the board, I assure you, has that on their priority list. The impact of adopting Common Core math and so forth and so on. I mean, some of this is obvious. Along with MAP and IXL, it's a good plan. And very similar to what you saw for ELA. Now during 15-16, we will take a similar approach with the model curriculum. We're not reinventing the wheel here either. By the way, you can go online tonight, in your spare time tomorrow, and check out the model curriculum online. You have access to it. Take a look. Some great stuff there. Some real smart people, some real quality educators spent lots of time developing that model curriculum for districts like us to adopt as the framework for their own. Again, how will we document that? Same way in the Atlas system. We're not looking to create a dusty book on a shelf, rather a living, breathing, changeable format. Funding. Don't know exactly how much it'll cost. Right now we're still looking at a couple, 3 different mathematics series, but it'll be in a similar range of the ELA, which was about $180,000, so figuring about $150,000. Add professional development to that, it's quite expensive. IXL is getting rave reviews, and certainly MAP testing, we want to keep that around as well. So the third priority is assessment. Clearly, one of the things that we're lacking, and we acknowledge that, is how we assess student performance against the Common Core. And so one of the things we like about the model curriculum is that it's broken into 5 units. And at the end of each of those units, you can tailor your assessments to evaluate how your kids are doing. Makes a whole lot of sense. So we're going to be using that framework to develop our own. So we're looking to identify the specific content that's aligned to the Common Core, and we want to evaluate how we're doing. And certainly along with that, you're talking about professional development. When we talk about vertical and horizontal articulation, what does that mean? Vertically, right, up and down, we're talking about between school districts, between grade levels 1, 2, 3, between North End and the middle school, high school, that's your vertical articulation. Horizontally, we're talking about within a grade level. We have grade level teams at the middle school, here at North End, South End. At the high school, we have department teams. That's the horizontal component. Has to happen. We will develop common assessments for teachers that teach similar courses, and this is how it works. It shall be done. Well, I hope I haven't taken all of the air out of the building, but that's it. I think it's a great plan. We will be providing regular updates on how we're doing, probably mostly through this forum and through FSA and APT meetings to keep you posted. Any questions?
We may have asked this the last time, but when does CUSAC come back the next time?
CUSAC's coming back in April, and we'll see how we do. I think for language arts, we'll be in great shape. They know that. They are well aware of our capacity concerns. They know that we won't have ELA and math completely written, adopted via the model curriculum. That's not going to happen. It takes time, and that's why you saw a 13, 14, 15, 16, timetable. What will they say when they come in April? They'll probably acknowledge what we've done and acknowledge from this plan the work that we will do. That's our hope.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No.
Okay, let's move on the agenda. From the Office of the Business Administrator and Board Secretary, under minutes, may I have a motion for B1 through B4. B1 is a motion to approve the public and executive minutes of October 7th, 2014. B2 is a motion to approve the budgetary transfers for the month of September 2014. B3 is a motion to approve the Board Secretary certification that no line item account has encumbrances which exceed the line item appropriation in violation of the Administrative Code. And B4 is a motion to approve the revised Treasurer of School Monies and Board Secretary reports for the period ending June 30th, 2014, July 31st, 2014, and August 31st, 2014. These revised reports reflect the year-end cash adjustment made by the district auditor. May I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a vote, please?
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes, with the exception of B1, I abstain as I was not at that meeting.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Under bills, may I have a motion for B5, which is a motion to pay the bills that were for October 21st, 2014, that were listed in our packet, and to retroactively approve check number 1031 as set forth in that item. May I have a motion for that item, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Under business, may I have a motion? I guess I'm just going to take B6 alone first, so we can just talk about that for a second. Motion for B6, which is a motion to incorporate the following into the board's 2014-2015 district goals. And you'll see there listed under B6, there are 3 goals. These are the goals that we developed in accordance with our board attorney at, I believe it was our second meeting of this school year. We've now incorporated them into clear and plain language, and we're asking the board to adopt these goals. 1, facilities upgrade. 2, curriculum, and 3, communication. And again, I won't read them all, they're all listed there. But I don't know if the board had any, well, let me call the motion first. May I have a motion for that item, please?
So moved.
Second.
Does the board have any comment on any of the goals that we have set forth that we developed for this year?
It's really 1 and 2 are the two presentations, 2 of the 4 presentations we had tonight. So the facilities upgrade and curriculum, and then the rest is about communication.
So even though we're approving our
Yeah.
we're approving our goals now, we're already well into
Into it, exactly.
into working toward making that happen. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. May I have a motion for B7 through B16? B7 is a motion to approve the Cedar Grove Junior Women's Club application to use the high school cafeteria on Friday, April 17th and Friday, April 18th for their Mother's Market as set forth therein. B8 is a motion to approve the Cedar Grove Junior Women's Club application to use the high school auditorium on January 24th for their annual spelling bee as set forth therein. B9 is a motion to approve the Cedar Grove Junior Women's Club application to use the middle school gym and cafeteria on Friday, March 20th for their annual kids dance as set forth in that item. B10 is a motion to retroactively approve the Four Pillars Group application to use the middle school on Tuesday evenings, September 16th through December 9th, to hold their weekly class lifestyle behavior change as set forth therein. B11 is a motion to approve the Four Pillars Group application to use the Cedar Grove High School auditorium for the dates set forth therein for the wellness event. B12 is a motion to accept the donations of $1,200, $500, and $100 from the Cedar Grove Municipal Alliance. And the reasons for those donations are set forth in that item. B13 is a motion to approve Sunnyfield Corporation's payment application number 4 and the amount set forth therein for the South End Boiler Project. B14 is a motion to retroactively approve Sharp Entertainment to use the Memorial Middle School for a filming shoot. That was this past Saturday, as set forth therein, and paying a usage fee that's set forth therein. B15 is to acknowledge that the business administrator has requested and reviewed proposals received from the landscaping entities that are set forth in that item for the improvements to the baseball field at a cost not to exceed $17,300. And B16 is a motion to retroactively approve the withdrawal of $404 from the Cedar Grove Capital Reserve account to be deposited into the Cedar Grove debt service account as set forth in that item. May I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Moving on to the, from the Office of the Superintendent, our first, we have a couple of reports first, and we welcome Brielle Ratty, who is the president of the All Schools Council. She's here tonight to give us a report on what's going on at the high school, and we're welcome, and thank you for joining us, and can't wait to hear what's going on.
So, as you said, I am the president of the All School Council, which is the school government club at the high school. And basically, my job here is to act as liaison between the Board of Education and the council. And everything I absorb here, I'm probably going to reiterate at our next meeting. So, at the high school, it's kind of been slow. We're all getting acclimated to the new school year. In September, like I said, we had our class meetings and everything like that. In October, recently we had a assembly organized by our students assistance counselor, Miss Internicola, and the speakers spoke about like the dangers of social media. And looking forward, we have our homecoming dance is going to be scheduled for November 5th, and the All School Council is sponsoring that. And we have a few other things coming up, but for the month of November, that's pretty much it, as well as Spirit Week. Spirit Week is going to be October 24th through October 31st. The first one is Wear Orange Day to support anti-bullying. The next one is Wear Red to support Red Ribbon Week. Tuesday is Pajama Day for fun. Wednesday is Wounded Warriors Day, and the class that would win that Spirit Day would then give a donation to the Wounded Warriors Project. So Wounded Warriors Wednesday, we thought that was new and cool. Thursday, Class Color Day, so each class is assigned a different color. And then Friday, Halloween Costume Day, and we're also going to be hosting a Halloween costume contest. So that's what's been going on at the high school.
Great, thank you very much.
No problem.
And, I guess you'll be back here next month
Yes.
with another report.
Yes.
Glad to have you, thank you. Now moving on to our superintendent's report, Mr. Featherman.
Thank you, Mr. Sakala. Brielle, thank you. There's a copy of the superintendent's report here. I can't do it justice. They're quite long, and I want to thank the administrative team and the grade level teachers for taking the time to document all kinds of good things that are going on in the classroom and outside. So please go online. They'll be posted shortly after the meeting. Check it out. If you really want to find out what's going on in each of our schools, this is a real nice snapshot of that. So check it out. Thank you, Mr. Mandela, for distributing. Appreciate that.
No, all of a sudden somebody talked in my ear and it was a speaker. It's like, what the heck was that?
Again, I can't sit here and read through it all. It's probably 8, 10, 12 pages long, and that's not the point. But I would like to highlight some things. Obviously, there's a lot of mention of the Common Core, curricular alignment to the core, training workshop in Words Their Way, Good Habits, Great Readers, the New Literacy Series, and their companion packages. Yeah, so, if you're looking for documentation and the proof of what's going on, it's here. It can be found in part here. Just to piggyback on what Brielle was saying, the high school does great things, as do our North End, South End, and middle school companions, right? So generally, just so you have some background, the DOE assigns October as the month where lots of things are recognized, from breast cancer awareness to character ed, violence awareness, HIB prevention, good sportsmanship. And so at each of our buildings, we've got things going on throughout the month of October. And Brielle gave you a snapshot of what's going on at the high school. I'd be remiss if I didn't extend a great big thank you to the Municipal Alliance, who funds a lot of the things that we do. So thank you out there, Pat Mullen and your team, Kristen or Nicole at the high school. We couldn't do these things without you. We have a BMX program at the high school. At the middle school. When is that? Tomorrow. I have that on my, it's tomorrow actually. So too bad you can't be there. I'll be there. It's going to be awesome. So again, funded by the Municipal Alliance. So a lot of the programs we do, thank you to them. I did want to highlight November 17th at the high school. We will have the annual 7th and 8th grade parent night. Please come on out, 7th and 8th grade parents, those of you out there listening. We're inviting you to the high school to find out all about their programs. We'll talk a bit about the referendum. We will show a referendum video that sort of encapsulates all of what's going on. So but again, that's November 17th, 7 p.m., Cedar Grove High School. That's for 7th and 8th grade parents. Hope to see you there. Let's talk a little bit about the middle school. On Wednesday, September 24th, I thought this was great. I'd like to read it to you. Mr. DeCourt was made aware that 2 of his students, Matt Rogers and Dylan Coffin, 7th graders, took the time out of their busy schedules to make and deliver 50-plus sandwiches to the local Salvation Army. Mr. DeCourt recognized them for their efforts by providing each student with an MMS t-shirt and personally congratulated them in his office for the display of good character. And that's what we're about. 6th grade student Julie Nawar, I want to give a shout out to her, if you will. She was selected as one of the 2014-15 Unico Columbus Day Essay Contest winners. She was recognized, along with Mr. DeCourt, on October 15th at the Cedar Grove Public Library. So thanks to the library for providing those programs as well. Let's talk collectively about North End and South End. And while doing so, thank the Rotary Club, the Rotary of Cedar Grove, for their partnership that we've valued for decades now. You may be aware of the dictionary project. Brielle, you probably were a student here. Were you a student here when the dictionary project was around? Were you part of that? You're not sure, John? Were you around, John, for the dictionary project? Well, it's still going on, and the kids get just as big a charge out of it today, maybe more, given the fact that everything's online with social media, the appreciation of a book in hand. And so that's still going on. It's fun, and it excites students about knowledge and learning and words. Again, that's what we're about, and thank you, Rotary, for continuing that tradition. I want to acknowledge that the South End FSA will be hosting or promoting the Harlem Wizards fundraising event. That will be at the high school, actually, on October 28th at 7 o'clock. A group of teachers, myself included. You're not coming out to see me, I hope, because it'll be ugly. But we're looking forward to taking on the Harlem Wizards and raising money for a great cause. Again, October 28th, 7 o'clock. Get your tickets. Hope to see you there. How about the Halloween parade? Still going on, North End, South End. Of course, on October 31st. Hope to see our North End, South End parents out there on that day. I wanted to acknowledge our nurses. October 15th was, believe it or not, Global Hand Washing Day. How cool is that, given what's going on right now in the world? Every class was visited by the nurse in both North End and South End, where she discussed hand washing and how hand washing alone doesn't cut it. We can use hand sanitizers, soap and water, but there is a recipe to follow. There's a certain length of time you have to wash your hands, use soap and warm water. So that was a great activity. Jumping along here. You know, I can go on and on and on. Let me just stop there. But again, go online, check out this report. It's a lot of people contribute to it, and I think you'll find it informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Featherman. Okay, we'll move on under personnel. May I have a motion for S1 through S9? S1 is a motion to approve Mr. Featherman's superintendent report that we just heard. S2 is a motion to verify accomplishment of the superintendent's merit goal as set forth in the resolution in S2. S3 is a motion to rescind the teachers as set forth therein to teach an extra class during this current school year. S4 is a motion to approve the teachers as set forth therein to teach an extra class during this current school year. S5 is a motion to approve the extension of Christy Torsha long-term maternity leave as set forth therein. S6 is a motion to authorize attendance at the events as set forth therein. S7 is a motion to reimburse the school-based volunteers as set forth in that item. S8 is a motion to approve the parents listed therein as school volunteers. And S9 is a motion to appoint the staff as set forth therein in accordance with the state emergent hiring procedures. May I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Under curriculum, may I have a motion for S10 through S12? S10 is a motion to retroactively approve the New Jersey CUSAC District Improvement Plan as per the administrative code that's set forth in that item. S11 is a motion to approve the revised curricula for the 2014-2015 school year as set forth therein. And S12 is a motion to approve the following reading and writing pathways instructors as set forth in that item. May I have a motion for those three items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Under contracts, may I have a motion for S13 through S16? S13 is a motion to approve the contracts that are set forth in that item. S14 is a motion to approve a settlement agreement between the Cedar Grove Board of Education and the parents of the student that's listed therein by number. S15 is a motion to approve the settlement agreement between the Cedar Grove Board of Education and the parents of student ND as set forth therein. And S16 is a motion to approve the students as set forth therein for classroom observations. May I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. The meeting is now open to the public for comments on items either on or off the agenda. Hearing none, close that portion of the meeting, and we will make our announcements of our future meetings. Due to Election Day, our next meeting will be moved to November 11th, 2014. We will not have our regularly scheduled meeting on November 4th, and on November 18th will be the following meeting after that, and they will both be here in the North End Media Center, 7 p.m. for executive session, 8 p.m. for the regular meeting. Any final comments from the board? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
Mr. Mandela?
Aye.
And Mr. Sakala?
Yes. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time.